Evening, gents. Wow, Bitcoin, yep. Any signs of a revival in this rally this morning? Spanked supposedly new ETF rejections and news, etc. But we should be getting used to this so far. It seems, is this entire rally from down here all based on ETF applications, that if they all get knocked back, we have to return all the way back down there? I don't know. I don't think ETFs were the sole driver for all of this, but it seems it's great excuses to slam the market. What's happened here is I've got a volume by price since our RH3 and our triggering event here, and also to capture the neckline. That was the reversal pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, which performed admirably. And we squeezed up to it and smashed through it there. We actually had a wind up HVF and took that target as well before we got the first inverted in a new downtrend. So the whole point that's really interesting is, where's all the cumulative volume being traded? And when we were selling off, I did suggest to my premium guys, there's a small concern that the bulk of the trade is taken here, and we had what I'd call vacuum volume. In fact, this has even been a bit fleshed out by this recent broadening pattern that's smashed down. It never had me fully convinced about bottoming, but there was a small chance that we had a left shoulder head and then a right shoulder there for a reversal pattern, possibly just before this level. But no, we've run straight into the heavy traffic where the bulk of the volume, that key level 6775 that we identified, this was our market sniper upside moment here on the right shoulder in its own little fractal inverted head and shoulder break. And then there was a second call to arms there just after the target of the fractal was made, that led to the triggering of the main inverted head and shoulder, that led to both that target being made and the invalidation of the super macro inverted HVF. Wow, that's not going to mean much to most people, but it does to our premium guys. But just in terms of the overall view here though, we're back down and we've been sucked. This is what I call the voids of volume tend to lead to sucking you down to where the big volume has been traded. And the neckline for this event, this is a revisit, and it's into it. It's into this histogram here. What else has been going on? So I did a webinar and I said against BTC, we believe Lumen. Yeah, that's right. Lumen will, when the crypto market sorts itself out, be part of a very positive setup. I described it in great detail as to how and why. And the follow-up with that is that is still live, and we are in a falling wedge here, but there was also a bit of DNA for further downside that could test your standing stop at the relative low too. So this is all detailed in our premium, guys. So I'm not going to go too far in there, but that was that. So far, however, Lumen selling off, little head and shoulders, drip made. So it's weak with the rest of the crypto market. The one that has done well and continues to do well is the one I said you should be short, and that was NEO. And this is our hedging during periods of Bitcoin weakness. It actually had a primer in there, which dovetailed very nicely with our access there. Squeeze. My first time I entered it was over here actually, as it traded down there. So I actually got whipped out with a stop. First time, which I got out quite quickly. Second time in, and it's been working a treat. We were in quite a bit earlier. So to be clear, at 33s, we were calling this short, second interim 22s, and full target 11s. So that is a 66% loss if it makes the 1157. I don't want to know what Bitcoin and the others will be doing if we make that. It's not a prediction, it's just this is the geometry and that's what it's showing. We're motoring quite strongly to that 22 level from the 24, so it has hedged the loss on the Lumen so far quite nicely. Another one we got into, and this credit to the community actually, this is our premium boards. Something just quickly, let's have a look at the setups. The Ethereum, ours logged me out. The Ethereum trade, which is very interesting, is doing rather well. This was called by Graham. Well done to Graham. on the board there. Let's find him. Where's the ETH? There we go. The ETH setups. So he's done the 3+1 on the ETH setups. Very, very good macro, the pattern, all the different draws. Let's jump in there. You can see how Ethereum has been performing. Let's just go to it. This has been an absolute spiller for us on this little fractal. This is quite a short time frame setup, but it was in a larger messy point. So just to be really clear, we've taken it right out to the big time frames, and we've highlighted that there was a major funnel here on the way up. We traded this baby long back in the bull markets. Look at the volume by price histogram since this HVF. From that low one right the way when it first broke into those price levels all the way up to the high, all the volume happened here. You actually had from your high one to your low one, the bulk of it just as it should be across our axis. A slightly chunky bit on this wind up here, which then took you through the target and then gave a boost to the target. It actually took you through the second interim, gave you a confluence with the main target. Then you got another upside HVF up to there, and then we started getting the inverted. This was the first inverters. Everyone thought I was dilly the first time I mentioned on YouTube 866 was going to run back down to 436, 50%. That was upsetting a lot of people, and we got downside setups, and we actually got a boost. It went to 386. So if you'd said 386 from the outset from 836, no one would have believed you. They were still in full-blown bull mindset. We got a head and shoulders there. This is a little squeeze that I was showing you now on the hour that Graham had identified and is breaking down really, really strongly, and that's got everything written about it that says it could well indeed break that low, which means you'll be into and searching out the funnel support now of the original upside from some time ago. Nice little primer there was in there as well. We were watching this one we were very bullish and confident with, and that took Ethereum from 300, and in fact by the time it was done it had traded 1400 on overperformance with a couple of wind-ups on the way. So it's fascinating how the method has worked, and the warning I have for everybody on this is volume by price. This is where all the trade is taken. This is on very thin volume that you are trading at these price levels. The cumulative volume at these different price points has been very, very low. The big volume has been right here on the funnel, and we're being sucked back through the vacuum areas into the big volume points. And that was also the point made on Bitcoin, not done on the same time frame, but on this 4-hourly, about this neckline here and how we've crashed back down to that support level, which when I was saying down, the downside could be that we run all the way to where it's greatest trade point. And this was the key level of significance we identified originally as the 67775, which also had that little micro fractal market sniper buy there and the previous buy on the inverted head and shoulder fractal, which was in the right shoulder of the larger inverted head and shoulder. So it's brought us all the way back to where the big action was, and you should do a bit of volume by price on the bigger time frames to get a feel for that. So Ethereum, we're short Ethereum, we're short NEO. Those are doing really, really well. Our long run for Lumen to perform against BTC, not doing well, grinding lower with the overall crypto market to a degree, and BTC, and slipping slightly against BTC. So this is just a guesstimation line. Of course, it's invalidated if it runs the 2897. So we'll have to see if it gets support and ends at some point soon. But my guess is if NEO is to perform through this interim and down there, that's going to mean really bearish times for crypto. So it's possible the Lumen fails, and that would be a big one. So I've given you a lot in here for free view on where we are. That's how our Ethereum and our NEO is doing. So this is NEO making great progress from 33's second entry after getting shaken out on the first draw over there, and Ethereum really nice on the small little structural one, but within the big picture, the potential to come back into this key funnel level that runs, and the axis is a big part of that. So go check that out if you haven't already on the 45-minute or the short time frame. That's a nice little spill. It's made its target, but a pushback is possible. It's quite extreme volume there. For this time frame, I've dropped right down to the 45-minute. Okay, that's it for free views. This has all been discussed and handled in our premium areas. We're talking a lot about it, but as ever, you never get everything 100% right, but it's far better than running the elevator all the way down to the ground floor, not having the opportunity to see the trades being put forward by our other guys in a discrete environment where we're actually tracking it. There's Graham and Joe updating us on it as it was breaking, and all the views in here, and this is what you get. But you need to understand the method, and trading simply isn't for everybody. A lot of guys are just crypto only bulls that there cannot ever be a day or night for it. Sometimes we have to short, sometimes we have to at least get into tether if you're not ready to short and protect. You don't have to on the down legs ride the lift all the way to the ground floor. It could be a longer wait than you expect before it comes back up again. There's that macro, and some of the targets Graham is showing on the bigger time frame as well for Ethereum in terms of its major levels, and you can go through all the charts once you learn how, and you can contribute too, and you can go right the way through from the macro, super macro, and into the drawdowns. So that's a little bit about what we're doing here. FX and equities, all of it in here, forum setups. So if you want to find out more, there is definitely a September the 4th. And what I believe I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up a mid-July free webinar where we'll tell you a little bit more about it's not what you make but what you keep. You can attend that webinar, and we might have a little surprise share as well once we've got a new item for you at the webinar. So look out for roughly, I would say, the 17th of this month as well, but we definitely have a date in for the September 4th. You can book in for that one, and I'll probably get a date up for around about the 17th of this August month as well for people that are in a bigger hurry. So yeah, trade safe, be defensive for now. It's iffy times in crypto land, but also a slight buoyancy of some buoyancy is that this huge volume should serve as an element of potential support. So this could be the final capitulation low on the bullish side into this high volume area. Remember, it was a difficult job breaking below it. It then was strong resistance, strong resistance, strong resistance, strong resistance again. Right shoulder, big up, pause, and then when you broke it violently. It should show similar levels now of support, and you have a bit of a wick being bought up right now as I speak at the moment. Okay, that's all from me. I hope you value the free view, and speak to you all later.